Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Before we begin, we're going to take a few moments to collect ourselves and to relax before we engage into our discussion. What we need to do is to focus now on bringing positive energy into our lives and into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We have all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our lives will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we can do this is by changing our outlook, meeting every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism, and once you do this, you will see a change in yourself. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons why your life is amazing. You will see the change. You will be changed. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful and think positive. The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you dream again, to help you believe that anything is possible. We want you to believe that you do not have to marry the first man you meet just to get someone to take care of you. You do not have to live a life of drudgery. You can educate yourself. All you have to do is learn to read competently. We want you to take a chance on yourself. Stop believing all the soothsayers around you that have never left a state in their lives. People who do not have courage to fly. People who only think of lying, cheating, and stealing. You can live an exciting life. All you have to do is believe that you can make your dreams come true. You do not have to go to bed with someone you despise day in and day out. You have the right to marry someone that you can talk to someone that believes in you and has faith in you as a human being. In other words, you do not have to settle for just anyone. But what you must do is strive toward your goal. You must be goal oriented. You must organize yourself. You must be clear about what you want in life and why you want such a life. All of us are made up of dreams. As our dreams unfold in our lives, our spirit soars. Realizing our dreams becomes a problem because oftentimes we are beaten down by our friends and family. We are beaten down at school by people laughing at us because of our shoe size, our ear size, our breast size, the clothes we wear, etc. We are beaten down by people saying nothing will come of our lives. We are beaten down when our mothers and grandmothers constantly say that we're going to be just like our father, an inmate in prison. Many of us are also discouraged when our mothers are inattentive. She is wrapped up in her new boyfriend. But life anew is possible. It is my job to encourage you to go as far as you can dream and as far as your dreams can take you. It is my job to get you to believe in life again. I am sick and tired of people failing at life just because they are around negative speaking and negative acting people. Do not let the failure of other people make you lose confidence in yourself. Yes, you may be surrounded by poverty, but you must look for a way out. The book, If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison, will help you. What you must do above all else is learn to read competently. You must read, read, and read. Anyone who laughs at you for reading, you need to leave that person alone. I do not care if it's your mother. Anyone who discourages you, you are to stop all association. Man is not different than plants. We need encouragement to grow as plants need water to thrive. You are to leave foolish, stupid people alone. Their ignorance will weigh you down or even get you killed. Sit down and think how you can avoid these people, especially if they're in your family. If you are overwhelmed with the tiring feeling that feels as if you're carrying a bag of stone around every morning when you get out of bed and think how you'll have to spend another living life you're not passionate about, the books I suggest are the perfect solution for your unique needs. Not only will we help you realize why these feelings overwhelm you and what you can do to change it, but they will also teach you how to live a life of strength, courage, fearlessness in order to realize all of your dreams. If you are lacking the attitude and psychology, proper resource or vision to make your dreams a reality, combined with dissatisfaction with the execution of your plans, but you remain firmly dedicated to making your ambition a reality and creating the life you deserve, you will certainly derive the most benefit from professional, incredible content within these books. Contents that will assist you in achieving the results that you are after. You are never to give up on yourself. Are you ready to leave your future to chance? Of course not. Take your life in your hand and learn all the necessary tools, mindset, strategies used by the men and women of courage, used in order to live the life of their dream. Change your life with our book starting today. When you left high school, you never envisioned yourself spending time in jail. You never saw yourself as a drug courier. You never thought you would be burglarizing homes or sitting inside of a dope house holding a shotgun to make money. Not thinking that you could have avoided all these jobs if you had learned to read. All you have to do is learn to read. Reading brings you knowledge, and knowledge brings you creative ideas and know how. You can learn a new trade by reading. You can learn to become a mechanic, a carpenter, even a plumber if you knew how to read. You need to make up your mind that you want to do something with your life and you need to change. You need to change your environment and you need to change your friends. Wisdom is defined as the quality or state of being wise, knowledge of what is true or right, coupled with just judgment as to action, discernment, or insight. How wise are you going to be today? Are you going to change? Are you going to start living your life being respectful to yourself and others? There is too much pain in our communities. There are too many people living painful lives. We have too many unhappy children. We have too many unhappy seniors. There is too much anger in our community. There is too much hatred in our community. There is too much self loathing in our community. Something needs to be done about it. A few hours of your time can solve these problems. All you have to do is learn to read and separate yourself from evil thinking people. You must separate yourself from all the predators living around you. One thing which may be painful is that you must realize there are evilness in your family. Once you identify evil acting people in your family, you must learn to leave them alone. You should not eat with, sleep with, talk with, or walk with anyone who is essentially different than you. If a person is living an evil life, that means you should not eat with, walk with, talk with anyone that's living an evil life. If you do, you may lose your life, or their evilness may cause the death of your children. God isn't going to defend your mind for you. It's your responsibility. With the word of God in your mouth and in your heart, you can defeat an enemy's suggestion every time. Here is a word from Ephesians chapter 4, verses 21 to 24. It declares, since you have heard about Jesus and have learned the truth that comes from him, throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitude. Put on your new nature created to be like God, truly righteous and holy. This is your new identity in Jesus Christ. Put forth your best effort to keep yourself in the right frame of mind. Stay in the Word and keep out of the wrong influences as an act of your will. When you become a good custodian over your thought life, you will be victorious over negative thinking and the pain that's associated with negative thinking. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 21 says, God's word can defeat the enemy's suggestion, and the verse says the spirit can renew our thoughts and attitude. Why not try God's word and see what it can do in your life? You believe in ghosts and goblins, you believe in monsters, then why can't you believe in God? You need to make up in your mind whether or not you believe there is a God. If you believe God exists, then you should follow him. You need to make up in your mind what type of life you want to live and who you want living that life with you. If your best friend exhibits bad behavior, you will just have to leave him or her alone. Don't care how much you like your best friends. Philippians chapter 4 verse 13 tells you, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. What is it that you want to do? Ask God to strengthen you. There are two passages in the Bible that you must take with you when you go into battle. A battle as defined as any opposition. That is right. You will always be in a battle when you try to change your life and stop associating with bad people. You will need help when you try to extricate yourself from affairs of others, including family members. Put these passages to memory. They will serve you well during hard times when you despair, when you are afraid of what you're thinking, or you have not heard from God. The world says when you are experiencing hard times, you're supposed to suffer. You're supposed to do what you have to do. In other words, prostitute your body, steal or kill for food, accept low wages, accept abuse from your employer, go home, eat a plate of denial, or drink a glass of hatred. No, you are to bemoan your life and accept your faith. None of this are you supposed to do. Read these passages several times, especially while you are at work during your break or lunch hour. These passages will help you throughout the day. Your enemy does not want you to believe in Psalms 23 or Psalms 91. He wants you to believe your situation is desperate. Just remember the situation with the leopards. God had already turned the situation around. The Syrians had deserted their camp, but no one in Samaria knew it until the leopards stumbled upon the Syrian camp, then went and told the news. Remember Isaiah chapter 65, verse 24? People were praying inside the walls for God to deliver, and they had received their deliverance and didn't know it. It took the leopards going to the enemy's camp for the Israelites to realize they had been saved. Sometimes you have to be still, quiet your spirit so you can receive directions. You live in the physical world, but our destiny is determined in the spiritual world. God has given His word to tell you how to conduct our lives. God says we are to take His word to create a life. Repeat His words to enhance your creative power. God says choose life. To do this, you must believe and you must stand up. Do not let negative people and toxic relationships keep you from realizing your dream. Call me and let's talk. You can be a better person. You must stop doing what you're doing and decide on a better life. The drinking, the smoking, the snorting coke, lusting after someone else's boyfriend or husband, and sexting every chance you get signifies you have no respect for yourself or your children. You have given up. You do not know how to manage your life. How low are you going to go before you change? Your children will not survive if you don't change. Take a good look at your children. They will not have a future if you do not change. Are you not tired of seeing black boys and men being carted off to prison for lack of knowledge and opportunity? Are you not tired of seeing black women standing on the corner prostituting themselves? Are you not tired of envying people, saying to yourself, I wish that was me? Stop fantasizing. Stop being ashamed because you are poorly educated and afraid. Stand up and change your life. Change is hard, but why die expressing regret? You can change regardless of your age if you so desire. Come to our meetings and reinvent yourself. Stand up and become a woman of courage. Join me, Minister Gloria Lee, and attend our Women of Courage meetings. Call or email for dates and times at murderedvoices at gmail.com. Be part of the future. Become involved. Just going to church and listening to the choir is not cutting it. You are not getting anywhere. You need to change what you are doing. Attend our meetings and learn how to change. Find out what you must do to win. The first thing you must do to win is start reading and never stop reading. The second thing you need to do to win is to get rid of all the toxic relationships in your life. The third thing you need to do to win is to join our meetings. Help me help others. When we work together, we win. I want to get the homeless off the street. I want to teach math to children. I want to improve the skills of black men so they can become employed. Will you help me? Email me for dates and times for our meetings. Become part of something larger than yourself. Please take a moment to listen to these alarming statistics. According to a recent New York Times article, the U.S. suicide rate surged to a 30-year high in 2015. In fact, in the last 15 years alone, the suicide rate for girls aged 10 to 14 tripled. Middle-aged women saw a 63 increase, and middle-aged men, the rate grew to 43. These statistics are devastating, and these statistics cover all races. People of all ages and walks of life are unhappy, they're desperate and without hope, and the problem is getting worse. Here to tell you there is an answer. You can control your destiny and shape your future. You can live a better, more fulfilling life. You can change the course that you're on. You are the prophet of your life. This book I've written that I'm glad to be able to share with you and anyone who knows about personal suffering. Nobody needs to suffer in silence. This book will show you how to be a better author of the new chapter of your life. It will show you what you need to do to be happy, successful, and sure of yourself and sure of the future. I have found that it's in your darkest hour that you can discover the true self, the brilliant light within all of us that can never ever be dimmed. You will learn how to make informed decisions that will enrich your soul, enlighten your mind, and show you that you have the capacity to make permanent, positive changes in your life. Many of us live our lives, but few live their dreams. As prophets of our lives, we have the capacity. We can also attain our most lofty dreams. Ask yourself, do you want to have a rewarding personal relationship? Do you want to run a successful business? Do you want to raise a beautiful, happy family? Whatever your dreams are, they are all possible if you have the roadmap, the set of instructions on how to achieve these goals. Have them now, and you are the prophet of your life. No one has to live a life of mediocrity, settling whatever comes their way. This book provides practical guidance on how you can move from just dreaming of having a better life into making it become your reality. You can realize that you really are the prophet of your life. Listen, negative thoughts interfere with the wonderful life you were meant to live. You are the prophet of your life will show you how to live positively no matter what the current situation is. For people living well during the depression, do not let problems stand in your way of happiness and successful life. Learn how to overcome even the most difficult challenges you may face. Think of your life from today on as a new building in which you are the architect. You are the builder of the greatest life you can live. It's up to you to determine what course your life takes, starting today. Because, my friend, you are truly the prophet of your life. Every day throws a life challenge to us, and it's how we choose to handle these challenges that make all the difference. You can decide the course of your life from today on. Some of the key messages discussed in the book includes being consistent in what you say and what you believe. A problem that most of us are guilty of is inconsistency. We are destined to fail when we allow negative thoughts and beliefs to impact what we say, not only to ourselves but to others. Being inconsistent in one's belief translates to sowing seeds of doubt and unbelief. The famous saying is true: whatever you sow, you reap. Always endeavor to be consistent in what you say and speak to others, exuberating faith, happiness, and wellness. Being pessimistic is dangerous. Do you get up in the morning telling yourself it's going to be a horrible day? No matter how bad your yesterday was, it should never stop you from being optimistic today. Being a pessimist is a recipe for suffering. It prevents you from seeing the positive in your life. You must realize that you are in control of what you think. Most importantly, positive thoughts lead to positive actions. The importance of reading scripture. You don't need to believe in God to read scriptures. These are lessons that anyone can learn and gain inspiration from. Reading the Bible can help liberate you from negative thinking. God's words exuberate hope and positivity. God tells man that he can look forward to a great life by living righteously and not violating others. Nothing is as powerful as this. You need to investigate your emotions. Being the prophet of your life involves your being in control of your emotions. Investigating our emotions requires self examination, which to some degree is going to be painful. Most of us are scared to make decisions, so we hesitate to make tough decisions. No matter how difficult investigating your emotions can be, you must never shy away from it. When you are not in touch with your emotions, you are destined to live a life out of control. If this book has a positive change on just one person's life and saves them from living a life of hopelessness and despair, then it would have been worth it to me. But I know the impact that this way of life has already had for me, and my goal is to share this message with as many people who are suffering as possible. This book is for everyone, men and women. This is a story of your life, and you are its only writer. Let You Are the Prophet of Your Life be your companion to help guide you through life obstacles. Let it be the beacon of light to awaken the best in you. Go to our website and read the first chapter of the book and live the life you've always wanted. The only limitations in this life are the ones we put on ourselves. Are you confused about certain situations in life? Or you are discouraged about your present situation? Or you've been discouraged that you will never amount to someone due to past failure? Or are you loaded with lots of fear? Or are you depending on friends to survive for a living? Worry no more. Here comes a book very loaded and well packaged. titled You Are the Prophet of Your Life. This book will enlighten you on who you are, how to build yourself, and how to become the prophet of your life. Life does not give you what you desire or what you're wanting. You must strike out and obtain what you want in life. This is a revolutionary book. It's destined to positively impact countless lives. It is a breath of fresh air in the world of self pity. Every parent should have a copy of this to discuss with their children. The book is powerful, inspiring, and outstanding, and it is a book worth reading. Make something of your life. If you want to be successful, you have to keep plodding away without stopping and stepping backwards. You must completely look forward to easy solutions and getting things done. You must kick the can down the road instead of creating better systems for solving recurring problems. You must avoid or escape methods for coping with anxiety. You must dare to dream. Dare to dream, then stand up and live. Think about it. You are the only person standing in your way of realizing a new future for you and your family. If you resign yourself to being nondescript, then that is exactly what you will be all of your life, and you will pass this behavior on to your children. So you must dare to dream and cast off the limits that you, your parents, and society has placed on you. Your parents evaluated you based on their failures and their successes and their prejudice. Society evaluated you based on your physical body and the money you possess. If you have no money, you're worthless and to be avoided and discarded. Ignore what society has to say. You have one question to ask yourself in determining your destiny, and that question is, what am I capable of doing? If you answer yourself, I can do whatever I choose to do, you will succeed and life will be good to you. If you answer yourself, maybe I have a chance at winning at life, your life will be a roller coaster and with no end in sight. Do not live your life where you will die on your knees. Dare to dream, then stand up. When trying to rise from poverty, you have two systems to fight against: ignorance and sexual sin. Be determined not to let either of these systems defeat you. Everywhere you look, there will be women selling their bodies. The world system will be beckoning, telling you to come join us. Do neither. Shun the immediate gratification of sexual sin and choose to live. Go to the library, learn to read, and read so you will not succumb to ignorance. I shall leave you with this last comment. Reading at the fourth grade level is the watershed for entering prison. Concentrate on ensuring that your child can read above the fourth grade level. In closing, remember, when you read and learn with your child, the entire family benefits. Let us see how strong you are to honestly work with your child to improve the entire family. Have the courage to say to your child, I don't know, but I will find out when they ask you a question. Let us see how emotionally strong you are to be honest when you work on a problem with your child. Have the courage to tell your child, I don't know. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while.
Are you sick and tired of being you? Do you want another life, a second chance? Then it's time to change. It's time for you to find out who you are. It's time for you to stand up for yourself. It's time for you to think for yourself. It's time to rid your mind of poisonous beliefs like women should only be seen and not heard. It's time for you to learn how other women accomplished their goals. For more information regarding women of courage and to be among the countless women learning to manage the challenges, limitations, and rejections of life, go to https://touchedbythelight.us. Do you know why your life is in the toilet? Do you know why no one likes you? Do you know why your dog left you and your mother is not speaking? Or why your girlfriend left you? Or why you can't hold a job more than 90 days? Do you want to know why every lunch hour you find yourself sitting in your car drinking a beer? You're addicted to cigarettes and alcohol, and how many times have you overdosed on pills? Your problems stem from a lack of knowledge. Your thinking is distorted. You do not know how to manage your life. You've got a secret, and that secret is killing you. You're hiding the fact that you do not read or you cannot read. Face it. Have the courage to tell yourself you cannot read. This is your first step towards change. By not reading, you are refusing to change. You are satisfied living the same old life day in and day out, making excuses for yourself while other people pass you by. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. President Obama. Get your life back on track by learning to read. Reading is your first step towards a better life. Stop being envious and jealous. Learn to read. Join us every Friday at Women of Courage to gain information that will help you manage your life. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Nelson Mandela. You must read as if your life depends on it, because it does. Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Stop thinking there's nothing you can do to change the world. Your life is important. For more information on our books or subjects discussed, email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com.
I want to say something to you. The battle for your survival is in the mind. It has nothing to do with the clothes you wear, the shoes you wear, the car you drive. Your survival is based on your thinking, what is occurring in your mind. We spoke a few days ago that in the book, You Are the Prophet of Your Life, you learned that the mind and the heart are two very powerful tools we as humans are blessed with. What we use our mind and heart to do is very crucial and important in determining what and who we become in the future. So it is always important to be careful of our thoughts and what we put in our heart, because whatever you put in it is a seed that will grow bigger and bigger each day. You put hatred in your heart, that is what's going to grow every day, hatred. You put love in your heart, that is what's going to grow every day. Today I want to talk about what you can do to protect your mind and your heart. For some of us, every day is a battle. You dread having to get up in the morning and drive with your parents to school, unlike others who have fun doing research and enjoy talking about exciting things that they did on the weekend. You like to stay in the shadow. Perhaps one of the reasons why you didn't like to mingle is because you were bullied. Perhaps a teacher showed biasness by picking out on you even though you didn't do anything wrong. These scenarios are all too similar to me. I know how it feels to stand out in a bad way. I have an idea about what must be going on in your mind when someone comments about your hair or the type of clothes you wear. According to the stats provided by the National Center for Educational Statistics, more than 1 out of 5 students report being bullied in their life. Fortunately, the effect of bullying can taint you for life for a long time, even if they aren't addressed and taken care of quickly. You cannot just lose your self esteem, but might even go through episodes of depression and anxiety. Thankful, every cloud has a silver lining. Today, I'm here to tell you what you can do to survive the battles that are going on in your mind. You can train yourself to stop negative thoughts from entering your mind. How can I be sure? Because I've done it also. So, because I want you to begin a journey of recovery, I have decided to provide you with the things that helped me the most during my toughest periods. These tips will put to use will provide you with affirmations that you need to survive bullying and to go on living your life to the fullest. The step one is to start your healing. And it looks like you have already started or taken the first step in your journey toward healing. If you are here listening to me, it means that you want to get better, that you realize that there is a problem that needs to be taken care of. Many times we don't realize that we're making our lives suffer because of sadness and the negativity that surrounds us. But once we do, we manage to highlight the problem that troubles us and make it point out to solve them. This is when true recovery begins. I'll say that again. Many times we don't realize that we are making our lives suffer because of sadness and the negativity around us. But once we manage to highlight the problem that troubles us and make it a point to solve those problems, this is when true recovery begins. Two is to understand the power of your mind. Before you can actually start your healing process, you need to know that your mind has a lot of strength. It is not just a part of your body that is essential to keep you alive, but it also determines all that you are today. With a sane mind, you wouldn't be able to decide what to wear or what to eat on a particular day. If you were to fully harness your mind's power, you could be able to transform negative thoughts into positive thoughts. You could tell your mind to feel happy and joyous, and you could be exactly that in a matter of minutes. Once you're aware of your mind's true potential, you can jump to the next step. Start the day with inspirational quotes. One of the things that helped me the most when I was battling through negativity in my life was getting up in the morning, standing in front of the mirror, and reading a motivational quote. Tell yourself you're great, that you are worth something, and not just things that other people have to say about you. Remind yourself of all the good things you've done in your life, and you know in your heart that you are a kind and giving person. There's an actual science in how inspirational quotes make us feel driven, so use that and you'll still, in fact, you'll start feeling better. Four, drag out the negativity. There's just some things about negativity that it never seems to let you go, and sometimes feels like it will choke you even though you try hard to save yourself. This is why you need to actively work on dragging those thoughts out of your mind. If a dark cloud is coming over you while you're reading a book, replace it with something else so the sadness will not dwell. Likewise, if you have negative people in your life who do nothing but bring you down, rid yourself of them. Remember, to be surrounded by happy thoughts, you need to be surrounded by uplifting people who like to see you win and who encourage you to be happy in your life and your endeavors. Step 5. Try calming activities. Things such as yoga, other forms of meditation, and journalizing are known to help people with low self-esteem. I personally prefer journaling and meditation because while journaling lets me get through the thoughts out, meditation helps calming my mind. Likewise, you can try deep breathing exercises, listening to music, and visualizing to help and suffocate the negativity whenever it decides to visit. Step number 6, believe in yourself. This step is extremely important. Each of us has a story to tell, but it depends on you the kind of story that you create in your life. Getting out of the stressful and anxiety producing battle of your mind can be tough, but healing thoughts can cure your depression and boost your self esteem. So you don't have to feel like you are worth nothing. It turns out that even the biological systems of our mind wants to help make us feel better. So stop getting bullied by your schoolmates and your thoughts. Take the reins out of your life into your own hands and know that you can hold power to make yourself a strong, self assured, and confident person. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break. While remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage.
You need to live life with a purpose. You need to spend the time needed to explore, to find your true passion. There are so many unhappy people in this world not willing to make a change. There are so many unhappy people not focusing on the big picture. 1 out of 3 people are happy with their lives. Think about that for a second. 70% of the people you see every day are not happy. And the majority of that has to do with purpose. People are programmed, wired to be okay with the minimum. People stay in jobs they're not passionate about. They date people who don't support them, hang out with people who don't help them grow. This can't be you. You need to spend the time to discover what your true calling is. What are you passionate about? What do you see yourself doing to make your mark? Are you in a job right now that you're truly happy with? Do you wake up every morning excited to start your day? If not, that's okay. You know now this isn't fulfilling you. But what are you gonna do about it? Are you willing to make a change to help reach your goals? If you are, it needs to start now. Because this won't happen overnight, finding your true calling. But once you do, you will see how everything changes. You will begin to see the quality of your life increase. All those problems you had, they slowly fade. You begin to see how powerful life is with a purpose. Anything that you want in this life can be obtained. You just need to believe. Believe in yourself. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are resilient. You are what we call the women of courage. And your time is now. There are no victims in this life. So I'm asking you, are you ready to make a change? Are you ready to fight for what you want? Are you ready to fight for your dreams? If you are, it starts now. This is the Women of Courage.
You must dare to dream. I do not care how much garbage is around you. You must dare to dream, because those dreams can carry you from the sewer out of poverty and away from hatred. In the 1930s and the 1940s, hundreds of black singers and musicians and various artists left America and went to France and became famous because they dared to dream. They believed, like James Baldwin, that they had something to give to the world and they would not allow ignorance to silence their voices. Pearl Bailey went to Europe. Ella Fitzgerald went to Europe. Josephine Baker went to Europe. All these people became famous because they dared to dream and they believed in themselves. I do not care what your mama says or what your grandmama says about your turning out to be just like your father. They are speaking out of frustration and hatred of their own status in life. They have grown old, fat, ugly, and mean and hateful, and they speak to you out of the anger that has been in their hearts all their lives. They were taught by the naysayers in their families that they would not amount to anything, and they didn't because they were not encouraged. Don't listen to them. Dare to dream, then stand up and live. I know the closest person to you is your mother and grandmother, but these women can be wrong. They are not fortune tellers. When they say nasty things, they are speaking from a position of lack of knowledge. If your mother cannot read or write and is not working a decent job, then when she speaks against your dreams, she is speaking from her failures to rise above what was said to her by her mother and grandmother into her life. Maybe she did not have the means to fight back against the hateful mouths of her mother and grandmother. Maybe they told her the best way to get on in life was to sell her body like they did. Yes, I'm telling the truth. Even today, there are women telling their daughters and granddaughters to fix themselves up and go find a man with their bodies, which is stupid. In your family, persist in speaking against your dreams, then leave the area. Again, if your family persists in speaking against your dreams, then leave the area. Find you a job, keep reading, get a car, get a job, and get away from them. They are not going to change. The only thing that will change will be you. You will change into a person that you will learn to hate over time. Think about it. You are the only person standing in your way of realizing a new future for you and your family. If you resign yourself to being nondescript, then that is exactly what you will be all of your life, and you will pass this behavior on to your children. So you must dare to dream and cast off the limits that you, your parents, and society has placed on you. Your parents evaluated you based on their failure and their successes and their prejudice. Society evaluated you based on your physical body and the money you possess. If you have no money, you're worthless, to be avoided and discarded. Ignore what society has to say. You have only one question to ask yourself in determining your destiny, and that question is, what am I capable of doing? If you answer yourself, I can do whatever I choose to do, you will succeed and life will be good to you. If you answer yourself, maybe I have a chance at winning, your life will be a roller coaster with no end in sight. Do not live your life where you will die on your knees. Dare to dream, then stand up. When trying to rise from poverty, you have two systems to fight against: ignorance and sexual sin. Be determined not to let either defeat you. Everywhere you look, there will be a woman selling her body. The world system will be beckoning, telling you to come join us. Do neither. Shun the immediate gratification of sexual sin and choose to live. Go to the library and read so you will not succumb to ignorance. I shall leave you with this last comment. Reading at the fourth grade level is the watershed for entering prison. Concentrate on ensuring your child can read above the fourth grade level. The last thing I want to say is to remember the definition of self-esteem. Self-esteem is a term used in psychology to reflect a person's overall emotional evaluation of his or her own worth. Self esteem is a judgment of oneself as well as an attitude toward the self. If you think bad about yourself at any time and constantly berate yourself and think you will never accomplish anything in your life and that no one will love you and no one will marry you, you have low self esteem. Self esteem is a judgment. You are judging yourself. If you judge yourself harshly, you have low self esteem. If you keep telling yourself that you're worthless, you have low self esteem. And you must do something about this situation. You need to seek professional help along with reading about how to fix your low self esteem. I want you to work at building your self esteem because as a woman, low self esteem can lead to death, prostitution, and the abuse of your children. I want you to hear me. Low self esteem means you will allow people to bully you. You will allow a man to prostitute you or abuse you in marriage. You will not fight back for yourself or your children. You have to learn to fight back. You can do this by reading and finding professional help. I don't care what your mother, father, sister, or brother says about you. You are of value. You are worth something. Therefore, you stand up for yourself by leaving the area, staying away from these nasty, hateful people, and build a life with someone who loves and needs you. Self esteem encompasses beliefs. I am confident. I am worthy. It is an emotion such as triumph, despair, pride, and shame. The self concept is what we think about ourselves. Self esteem is a positive or negative evaluation of the self, as in how we feel about ourself. It is also known as an evaluation of worthiness, of pride, of discouragement. I want you to consider this if you have children. When you read and learn with your child, the entire family benefits. Let us see how strong you are to honestly work with your child to improve the entire family. Have the courage to say to your child, I don't know, but I will find out. We will go to the library together. Let us see how emotionally strong you are to honestly work on a problem with your child, having the courage to say, I don't know. To summarize, for a person to be at risk of brainwashing, it is necessary that at least one of the following characteristics are met. The victim has low self esteem. The victim has been physically or sexually abused. The victim struggles with drug and alcohol dependency. The victim lives in poverty. The victim has little or no legal protection. Once the trafficker detects one or several of these vulnerabilities in his objective, he or she will seize any available opportunity to seek out the potential victim, including in person tactics at malls, bus stops, walking to and from school, and outside of group homes. Keep in mind this information as we continue to discuss those men and women arrested and convicted of sex trafficking. This insidious behavior must be stopped. We must all participate in the prevention of sex trafficking. This activity is destroying our nation. List. It's extremely important that you understand what this list is saying to you. The list is the results of low self esteem and a poor image. Low self esteem makes you hateful, it makes you produce despicable behavior. You will sneak into a woman's room or you'll sneak into a man's room. You'll tell one another secrets after someone confides in you. You will have sex with every man you meet. You will bring men into your home that you know nothing about. You will let these men molest your children. You will neglect your children for the praise from some man. The consequence of a low lifestyle. You will commit adultery. You will betray your friends. You will lie. You will cheat. You will cover up. And you will prostitute yourself. Nothing good comes from lack of confidence. You will try to steal someone else's husband. You will be filled with jealousy, hatred, and envy. You will commit rape, murder, and commit debaucherous acts. Low self-esteem is a hateful lifestyle. You must do everything and anything to raise your self-esteem because it not only affects you, it affects your children. Your child's life depends on your self-esteem. The Women of Courage show broadcasts every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. Please remember, if you are not in your car or near radio during our broadcast, we can be seen and heard on your computer if you go to tv33whpr.com. Again, tv33whpr.com. We can also be heard on your phone if you download the free app WHPR TV Detroit Live or listen to us on Roku at WHPR TV Detroit Live 88.1 FM. If you missed one of our broadcasts, you can view our archive on YouTube at the Touched by the Light Publishing channel. Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Please join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage and have a great day.